Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Red. I'm going to start doing this quite often. We're going to start reacting. Like I do, reacting to other Premier League matches and other football stuff. Yeah, I might call it a football twilight because twilight is after it. During the day, or twilight after. Yeah, you know what I mean. And Tottenham versus Chelsea. Let's talk about the game. The game started well. The game started okay. Tottenham were up for it. They were pressing up. The whole team were shifting forward really nicely. And they looked good. They looked good. They just looked up for it. Chelsea were a little bit started slowly. My English is fantastic. That's why you should like the video and subscribe to the channel, because you get that high quality language here. And I thought they started well, Tottenham. They were up and about. The fans were up and about as well. Obviously, a London derby, isn't it? It's like... And then the game sort of faded out. After about 20 minutes, it was sort of like a stalemate. Both teams, Nuno Espirito Santo versus Thomas Tuchel, defensive managers, really. Compact, defensive, break, counter-attacking teams. Get the ball to the striker, hold it up, bring other wingers, fast attackers into play. Lukaku and Kane were doing that, but one striker did it and the other one didn't. And after about 20, 25 minutes or something like that, the game sort of just faded out. Like, both teams were sort of trying to do the same thing. It looked like a nothing game. It looked like a stalemate. Like I said, Chelsea had the better of the chances. They probably could have scored. Lukaku was doing well with Marcus Alonso especially, and Cesar Spilicueta. It's a weird player because you don't expect him to play right wing back. You expect him to be right centre back, right side of the three centre half. But you just don't been. But I thought Alonso and Lukaku were really well, and then Mason Mount, Havertz was sort of chipping in and they were doing okay. They weren't doing great, and the midfield were very good. Kovacic and just breaking up that play. But it was an okay first half. There was nothing special, and then the second half, Chelsea just took control of the ball. And they just took control of the game and said, yeah, you got to work hard to win the ball back. You got to work hard to create your chances. And it was really dominant in the second half. Look at the attempts on goal. You can see it. Yes, you can see it on the screen. 20 shots to 8. 10 shots on target. Half of the shots on target. That's when you're putting the keeper under pressure. And you're just trying to build confidence. Because when you get a shot off, you get the crowd up as well. It's sometimes, especially a shot on target, or like a good shot, or a good chance created. You get the crowd up, and then you fill up pace like, oh, we're getting closer. Oh, you know what I mean? It's not just about, trying to get a goal. There's other, what do you call it? That word just slipped my mind. There's like a word. It's like that you can't measure. Things that you can just get lifted about. And the second half, they just completely dominated the game. 11 corners to 5. And so on. Look at that. Dominating possession. And Tottenham really were second fiddle. They were chasing shadows at the end of the game. And this is dangerous on Nuno Espirito Santo. 3 goals. 2 of them were sort of unlucky, I guess, from Tottenham's perspective. But the first one was off a corner. Thiago Silva. It was Eric Dyer and Dele Alli, I think, were marking. No, Dele Alli was marking Thiago Silva. And he was sort of with him, but sort of wasn't. It's like, all right, are you with him or you're not? Yeah, corners, especially got Thiago Silva, one of the best defenders in the last 2 decades. Thinking, yeah, this is one of we should take care of him and we should keep an eye out for him. Especially Dele Alli, he's not short, is he? And I thought he's good in the head, Dele Alli. Thinking, right, come on, do something. And Thiago Silva isn't the tallest of centre halves. And thinking, come on, lad. And I just pulled from Dele Alli. I don't know if it was lazy. I just sometimes defenders, not defenders, but you sort of do the bare minimum of like, alright, come on, Dele Alli, you should be better there. Thiago Silva, excellent header. Should have done better from Dele Alli's marking. Second goal, Kante obviously comes on. Kante's been coming on every single game, isn't it? Tuchel really likes Jorginho and Kovacic. And Kante is just bossing. He's one of the best midfielders in the world. And obviously, it's a good shot, actually, but it was going to the left bottom corner and it deflected to the right bottom corner. It was really unlucky. And Lloris couldn't do fuck all about it. And then the third goal was just domination. What was the third guy here? Timo Werner, good little cross ball, cuts it back in for Antonio Rudiger scores. In the box. They were just taking the piss the last 10 minutes. Really poor. And Tottenham, after a good first 3 weeks, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, wasn't it? Yeah, first 3 games, 3 goals scored, 0 goals conceded, and they conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games. Not a very good start after the international break for Tottenham and Nuno Espirito Santo. And I did tweet this, also follow social media platforms, Twitter and Instagram, and Twitch. I might start streaming soon. Next week, North London derby. Arsenal versus Tottenham. It's going to be intriguing. It's going to be interesting. Both managers are under pressure. Kane versus Aubameyang. Poor defense versus poor defense. This will be interesting. I'll tell you, it'll be interesting. Well, Chelsea look the deal. They look like the bollocks, don't they, Chelsea? They're going to be up there. And when you compare the other two teams, we're going to talk about Man United a bit later, but when you talk about controlling the game and the game playing on your terms and you're deciding where the ball is going to go, and you're deciding the tempo of the game, it matters. And especially against a derby, you shot up. Tottenham were lifeless at the end. They were obviously, you're losing a derby, and they lost confidence. And that's what a good team does to another team. So, all right, let's talk about West Ham versus Manchester United. Ended in a 2-1. It was a dramatic finish at the end. Good game. This wasn't a bad game. Two teams up for David Moyes, up against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it was a good game. They started well. United started well. West Ham started a bit slowly, grew into the game, and they got the goal at the end from Said Benrahma, who was on the edge of the box, and no Man United player was next to him. Took a good shot, deflected, came off Varane, I think it was. Keeper De Gea couldn't do anything about it. It was 1-1 off. Ronaldo scored the first goal. Fucking hell, another sort of keeper mistake from Fabianski. Yeah. But the second half, I thought West Ham did well. I thought Declan Rice did really well in the midfield with Souček. Souček is the bollocks. He's really good. But the way they played, because they were missing Antonio, and you can tell they were missing a figurehead up top, thinking, "You're our guy. We're gonna beat the ball up the field to you. We're gonna try to hold it up for a couple of seconds. We're gonna bring numbers into play, and that's all gonna get up further up the pitch." They played in Vlasic, who was sort of, I didn't really notice him. It was more Bowen and Benrahma who were causing havoc with Souček, and especially with Cresswell and Sofal, who were up on the wings, battling out with Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. Was a good match, good little battle, but it was a midfield battle. McTominay and Fred, they were average again. I thought Souček and Rice dominated them. But the front lads, Pogba, Fernandes, Ronaldo and Greenwood, as you're going to get with every game, they're fucking 4 quality players. You're going to get chances created, and that's when Ronaldo scored his first goal. In the second half, I thought West Ham were controlling the game really well. They were a couple of times under pressure at the back, because obviously Ronaldo and bloody Bruno Fernandes are going to always cause pressure to fucking whoever defense that is, from the very, very best. But it was just end-to-end a little bit. It was back and forth counter-attack. Bowen and Benrahma, and then Greenwood on the counter-attack. And then the penalty, a couple of penalty shots for Ronaldo. The first one, I think, was a dive, but the one late, I think, was a bit of a penalty. Maybe. It was a referee, Martin Atkinson. He had a couple of decisions to make, and I don't think he had the best of refereeing games himself. And obviously, right at the end, you think 2-1 down, West Ham, that is. I got a goal off a Lingard. It was a beauty of a goal. He got a good reception at West Ham before he scored a goal. He was always going to score, wasn't he? Especially when he came on. And then, right to death. Beth is a lovely name. You said Beth is a lovely name? I don't know. Right at the death. Right on the right-hand side, Yarmolenko comes on, trying to do something. Came off Vlasic, I think it was. He tried to whip the ball in. Luke Shaw is one of the obvious penalties of the game. Up and about, I think it's an obvious penalty. And David Moyes puts on Marky Noble to just take a penalty. Let's just let's just switch scenes. Yeah, let's just give it a moment to think about. After all this happened over the past 3 months, fucking hell. Did he get a score? Where is he? Let's have a look. Let's have a look on his heat map. One touch was over there. Shambles. Absolute shambles. Oh boy, I think this concludes that you don't sub on anyone in the last minute cold. And even though he's Mark Noble and he's 47 years old, one of the most experienced players in the game, even him, you don't do it because penalties are a fucking lock. Just give it to someone who isn't cold. And yeah. And United win 2-1. Another unconvincing win by United. That's the difference between United and Chelsea. That's why everyone's raving more about Chelsea than United, except United fans, obviously. Love you. Subscribe if you're a United fan. Why would you subscribe to me if you're a United fan? What are you doing with your lives? Yeah, that's what they're like. The two different teams of Chelsea and Man United. The vast contrast of like controlling a game and like, yeah, we're boss. No, you're not, sort of thing. But yeah, anyways, and also Brighton versus Leicester. I obviously had this during the United game. I sort of kept my eye on it, like obviously mainly watching the United West Ham game. Brighton look good. They're looking good. And Leicester haven't started this season well, have they? They look good. Brighton, I'm really impressed. That's why I predicted them high up in the predictions, in season predictions. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. They were good. Every time I looked over, like Brighton held possession. Leicester were trying to press them and trying to force a mistake from them. And every time Brighton played out of the defense, played through midfield, and were causing havoc every time they went into Leicester's box. I'm thinking, bloody hell, they're pretty good. And these are like outstanding plays, like Welbeck, truss them up, but they're not outstanding, but they just work well. And Cucurella, is it Cucurella? Whatever. A new signing for them. He came from Spain. Did he come from Barcelona? Or am I tripping? Anyways, he looks like a good signing. They're looking good, Brighton. And they're what? Let's have a look. Yeah, where are they? They're 4th, Brighton. That's the league table. Chelsea are top with Liverpool. They're the same. I think Chelsea and Liverpool have actually equaled the exact like goal lines each game. I think, because Chelsea won last week 3-0 as well, didn't they? Or am I talking absolute wet? Yeah, they beat Aston Villa 3-0. Villa? Yeah, whatever. Good weekend for Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man United. Man City dropped points as well. Yes! Get in! And they probably should have lost the game as well. I'll wrap it up there. If you've enjoyed the video, the Football Twilight, I'm going to do this more regularly. After big games, notable games, we'll talk about more footy, as we do in this channel. Appreciate all your support. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and we'll see you guys later.